XXL Nutrition HQ. XXL Nutrition is the most popular online supplement brand in Europe. Our proteins, pre-workouts, dietary supplements, and of course our sportswear is developed with the greatest possible care. We are known for providing the highest quality products and the best service. Daily, we are working with a motivated team on new developments, promotions, and quality control to serve our customers in the best possible way. XXL Nutrition is an established name in the B2B and B2C market. Therefore, we can also be found in many gyms, supplement stores, and supermarkets. Offering the highest possible quality is the foundation of our brand. Only the best ingredients and materials are used for our products. Everyone at our company has passion for health and fitness. That's why we want to provide our customers, and of course ourselves, with the best products. We prepare all orders in our own warehouse, which has the capacity to process more than 10,000 orders daily. Thank you for supporting XXL Nutrition. We are XXL, the most popular brand in sports nutrition.
Shuts you down.
Left Champions with 20 stories.
Owen goes down, and the defense is holding on strongly. Giovanni have to try and force the blast down, but the cover won't last. All on shoulder shoot right now.
Really, the drop is going to come through regardless, though. Oh, what a shot there from Morats, and what a second one as well. Turned around. Well, no choice but to rush on in. Choose against one, unaware of the pro between two. What the Devils do? Trajano. Got a bit of the one time, makes the hop down, trying to catch this player, misses the shots on to Rooney, finds them eventually, and that's a man advantage that's much needed for Diaboli right now. RWL goes up.
But it's not in Project West control. That's the last time Boston was a lot of pressure on site. Leon going down. They get Raxo out. It's going to be last for Mark forever. That is exactly. Here comes the corner swinging. Wow! Perfect time coming in from MP.
Also, the Monte is just so menacing as he walks up this. There's the boss G. Wall pick off Headbanner, and he's tries to pick off Monte.
Down, which is huge. That's going to be already all but one extra off the border. Holy crap! The flank!
That blunder. He just got the comms, but that's not going to be the case. Steve is going to kick us off.
We cannot choose enough view that there will be no unfortunate chain link of events. And just as we speak of those stands another challenger, the floor is drawn there, the Rotero going to be popped. And the Legion looking for some trouble, and Donkey.
Staircase being swung from both sides. Just has to be prepared, pushing the blue, getting timed bit by bit.
McCain
goes down. Oh no, and Legion gets two places as well. Now it's
Need to be in a tough spot. Look at this, they've got the players on the free, but here's the Hawkins finds the shot.
3v3 now. Two defenders like B side. 3v2.
early C4 pick at the skets anyway.
No, they haven't looked for it. No.
They
They're coming forward, double kills for all red. It's only going to be left up for Monty, but no! Able to pick up the first, and was that a down? Was that two players? No, it was a team kill from RWL to this team, and this DQ's planted the C4 in the wrong position, but they're able to find it. No, can they find the defuser? No, they can't, and Roberto gets the it's winning! It's over! So, it'll be interesting to see if it does prove to be valuable for either of these squads yet, as, oh my god!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Voltage Series Division Groups. We are here. I'm Erebos, here with 1GG, and we have our final day of the Division Groups here today. Our first match is going to be Myth up against Ryujin. One, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to see these teams decide if they can go into the next stage or not.
Yeah, and for Myth, they don't have to worry about it. They are already through, but Ryujin, 1 point ahead of the third place team. If we can go ahead and look at these standings and check out how this particular group is looking. And Myth in top spot, they already are through. Ryujin, they need a win today to guarantee going through. If they don't, then they're going to have to rely on Project Zero losing their match up against NXT, which will be later on today. Unfortunately, not on stream, but yeah, I mean, Myth Esports, they have been looking indomitable, only losing 7 rounds in their matches so far. I mean, they're definitely looking to be very strong heading into the next stage.
Yeah, definitely. There will be one team to watch. Yeah.
Yes, they will. And these are our matches for today. Myth and Ryujin up first, and then Pano Huone up against can't exactly read that, but let me just pull it up so I can see the other name.
Yeah. It's Sacrifice Vinicius.
Yes, Sacrifice Vinicius, which Sacrifice Vinicius looking really strong as well, only losing 5 rounds in their matches so far. And for the side of Panamone, they need a win to have a chance of going through.
Yeah, and then even if they win, it's getting tight in there in this group because Sacrificius and Team VIP both have 12 points, and Panone only is able to match it if they win it. So even if they win, they don't have a guarantee to go through, maybe, depending on the tiebreakers, depending how close they win. So yeah, I'm very excited for that match. But for now, we will look at the map bans of Myth and Ryujin, which are not very surprising, I would say. We got Ryujin, who bans Cafe, Border, Bank, and Lair. And on the other hand, Myth, Consulate, Sky, Clubhouse, and Chalet. So we're going to Night Heaven Labs.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. We have seen quite a bit of labs so far. I mean, think back to Divoli on labs, just absolutely devastating. One of the better teams on Nighthaven Labs so far. But let's go ahead and take a look at these team cards, see how these teams stack up. As yeah, we're gonna look at Ryujin first with their worst map being Skyscraper, so not a surprise that that is going to be banned out.
Yeah, definitely. But we have to keep in mind, Myth was the one banning it out, so not sure how they're right now on it. But yeah, let's see how they compare. And there we see on the Myth cards, Clubhouse apparently the worst, and Night Heaven Labs the best. So they got what they wanted, apparently. Yeah, they seem to be the favorites, not only from the standings, but also from the map bans.
Yeah, Myth Esports definitely feeling confident going into this, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly how serious they take this because they are already through. They don't have to show anything. They don't have to try extremely hard to make it through, but they can play spoiler. If they manage to get the win here or even take it to overtime, then they can make sure that it's as hard as possible for Ryujin to actually make it through. They can give a chance of, hey, maybe they think that Ryujin are a little bit better than the team in third place. Maybe they can try and help knock them out. And so it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this one shapes up. But for Ryujin, this one's pretty much do or die. You want to keep it in your own hands. You don't want to have to leave it up to other teams to perform and help you out. So you want to make sure that you are trying your best, you're getting this win, and you're getting this win in regulation to guarantee going through to the next stage.
Yeah, definitely. And on the other hand, as Myth, you want to keep the training effect of the official match. You want to be able to close it out and win the group undefeated. So they are not going to sandbag, I would say. They will try to show dominance and to put themselves in a good position for later map bans in the other stages, I would say. Because if you can show more maps, being very good on it, and then you put your enemies under pressure in the map ban phase. And that's always very nice to do.
Yeah, and I was waiting just a little while for the players to finally fully get in the lobby and be ready to play their match. I gotta ask you, Nighthaven Labs, what are your favorite things about this map in terms of how you favorite things to attack, favorite things to defend, and what
Mhm.
do you hate about this map? What makes it really hard on each side?
I would say I don't have anything that I would really hate about it. Um, I think it's very interesting to play in general, especially because depending on the operator bands, you can play it very differently, especially in the attack. Like, of course, if the shields are open, you can force the shields. I'm always playing two of them. Or on the other hand, you can more or less focus on breaches or vertical play. And yeah, you can try to abuse the Deimos, for example. And yeah, I think Labs is a map where you can kind of see how a team really wants to play the game or what they try to focus on to win their rounds, especially in the attack. And yeah, on the defense, like, of course, there are the usual power picks we have to watch out, like the Clash, the Azami. Um, yeah, but I'm always very curious to see how the teams try to utilize these picks because yeah, some one operator ban can change things up quite differently. Because if something like the Asami or the Clash is open in the first 3 rounds, and yeah, that can be very difficult for the attack, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. The shields are so extremely strong right now, both on the attack as well as defense, because you can kind of call Azami a shield. She can just throw out a lot of
Yeah.
mobile shields to help out with the defense,
Yeah.
as well as the Clash, especially on a map like Nighthaven Labs, where uh, electrical box on the top floor is extremely powerful to hold for both the attack
Yeah.
and the defense. A lot of crossfires can be set up there, as well as over towards blue, where uh, you get the feet holes there, but you maybe want a player there just so that you can utilize that position from both sides. Make sure that platform can't have all of the power, and especially if the Mira is up and available, there's a lot of ways that you
Yeah.
can hold that top floor site. In terms of the basement bomb site, well, there's a lot of different ways, but some teams like to bring all three soft breachers with uh, the ram, the buck, and the sledge, and it can make playing that basement a little bit difficult. But it really just depends how your roam game is. If you can manage to make the attack super uncomfortable before the attack makes the defense super uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
a lot of different ways to go about attacking and defending this map.
Yeah, I think what is quite the key, especially for successful Night Heaven defense, is if you're able to adapt mid round, if you're able to change the pace up a little bit, like if you can decide in the right moment to make a flank or to coordinate some of your teammates to overpower a position from the opponent. And yeah, the map is quite dynamic, I would say, in playstyle because you have to watch out for these things on the other side too, and can't really just play your power positions.
Yeah, I completely agree. And looks like we have all the players in the lobby just waiting on the ready check. So should be able to get this match underway extremely soon. It's going to be interesting to see what the operator bans actually look like because we've talked about the shields. Is the Clash going to get banned? Is the Azami going to get banned? Is the Mira going to get banned? And for the attack, are we going to get shield bans or are we going to get hard breach bans? What are they exactly going to look like? Maybe the Ram ends up getting banned out because the Ram is extremely powerful, but maybe the Buck, because the Buck is powerful when you're defending on the top floor and you're defending in the basement, as well as that first floor. If you manage to get a clean rotation off, then that Buck can be something that really could make the difference for the attack to even things up. So it's going to be extremely interesting for the operator bans. What are you thinking is going to be the path that we're going to go down as? Looks like we're going to get in the match because the match has started.
Yeah, I think it's like for me on this map, there are so many possibilities, so it gets kind of tricky to predict it or predict how the teams who really want to play it. Because of course you have your tendencies. Like there are some teams who hate Asami or hate Clash with a passion. But you can decide for, especially for the last play day of a group, to just change things up a little bit. And yeah, right now we don't see anything of that, I would say, because Ace and Kaid are very much default bans, so no surprises so far.
Yep, getting rid of the hard breachers. Ace extremely powerful right now, especially in this meta. Kaid can be extremely annoying to deal with. Maverick and the Bandit. So we are going for the walls, those can openers, the pocket hard breaches. Definitely going to be useful here, as well as the possibility of the Hibana trick to get those walls open. So both of these teams going in here, making sure that they want to keep those walls closed, but they also want to make sure that they can get those walls opened.
Yeah, and very, very reasonable, because if you don't get those breaches or you have a hard time dealing with them, then you don't have as much time to deal with some sort of setup. And yeah, as we see right now from the operator picks, there's a lot of setup you have to clear. Like, you either have to ignore the mirror windows or play them. And also, the Asami and Fenrir combo, very strong. You have to worry about those. And yeah, I'm very excited to see where the mirror windows go up. Probably I would have guessed into Office towards Kedrock as the default one, and for Pillar towards Connecting. But maybe we're just seeing something aggressive also on the breach.
Yeah, it's looking like they just want to be able to hear, see if there were any drones outside to try and spot them out. As looks like, yep, you were right about one of those mirror windows. I'm curious if the other one's going to be used to try and trick that wall, because we have realized that Thermite is the one being brought, so definitely susceptible to that mirror trick, as it looks like, yep, that is what is looking to happen. And with those holes poked in that wall, it means that you're going to be able to hear it when that Thermite charge goes down, so definitely a possibility of that happening.
Yeah, let's see if they have the time for that and the timing, because right now we see the Blackbeard putting pressure onto our connector. Not quite yet, but he's going to. And if he makes enough pressure, maybe the mirror has to help some teammates and walk away from IT, but for now, everything is covered. Water gets poked away.
Yeah, the nade goes out. It gets that mute jammer as well, so Electrical going to be in control of the attack here. Might see a gunfight pop up as the Fenrir trying to go aggressive, but thinks better of it with the Blackbeard shield right up here against the wall. They're not going to be able to reinforce it as the attack has gone in here extremely quickly. They're going to open up the wall so that this Blackbeard can just walk straight through, which can be extremely deadly here for the side of Myth. So it looks like really aggressive from Fenrir. A lot of damage coming down. The first blood coming through as the Azami able to get that first opening kill onto the Thermite. So that balcony not going to get opened up as they opted to not go for that. But they are going to be able to retrieve the case, and is going to settle things down just a little bit as these Grimbees come out.
Yeah, I was kind of not necessarily, but I was a fan of how they fast took the space there with the Blackbeard. That was quite good, but then 4 people, maybe even all 5 of them, or like the Deimos is the only one underneath, but 4 people from the same side in the same room basically, that was a little bit too one-dimensional for my taste. But now they're getting to work vertically, they're making the kills, and they make a good comeback into this round.
Oh yeah, no! But a trade comes through. The Blackbeard goes down. The Nitrocell not gonna connect. 35 seconds left. There's still plenty of time to work with for Eli and Cyan. But Eli has to rotate all the way up here to the top, so it is gonna waste some time. Mira just on the other side of that reinforced wall. Oh no! Doesn't pull the trigger. The nade's gonna come out, push him back. So this B bomb site gonna be completely open as Eli does have the case, but that's not the player inside. And no, the case is gonna go down. The Nitrocell gonna come out. It's going to connect onto Eli. It's all left up to Cyan with 8 seconds left. Nothing's going to happen for the side of Myth. Not even a kill as Azami shuts the round down.
Yeah, I think in the end we just saw the problem of this kind of take, or that the Thermite died there because we can't be sure, but maybe the Thermite wanted to breach IT later into the round, and he just could get to this point. But yeah, we just saw most people from Myth pushing from one side, and the defense was just able to look at 2 doors and aim at them, and then get everyone basically, and be ready for the C4s onto pillar, like they were. And yeah, there was no secondary pressure point, really. Like, okay, the Deimos was for some point playing vertically, and he made a lot of work, and it was very important to get the round somewhat back to them. But yeah, when you would try and tactics, you have to have the flank, and I'm not sure if the Deimos tried to do it, but got denied doing it. So I'm not sure if we saw that or not. So maybe they tried and just went over 2, then everything is damaged, I would say.
Yeah, and looks like the shields are going to start to come out. The Blitz being picked, Dokkaebi as well as the Aurora. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they utilize this. As this wall was left soft, the Strikers just going to open it up extremely quickly, but we saw footholes and we saw the barricaded window as the Blitz so extremely quickly to get into the basement here, and there's not any defense here. The smoke's going to come out. He's going to be inside already. He has his case. His case can start to go down, but the first kill goes over to Myth. The case going down. The C4 going to come out, but it's not going to connect. The shot's not quite able to land as... No, the Warden able to take down the Striker. Another kill coming through. The Vigil going down, so it is still going to be man advantage in favor of Myth, but that case has not gone down yet. Still in the process of dropping it. The Blitz finally going to get that drop, as looks like we're going to have the shotgun on the Warden trying to open up holes here, but Dokkaebi in a safe position, already crossed. Not quite able to find the Blitz. There's a lot of shots ringing out, a lot of damage coming through, but it's all in favor of the attack as everything falls apart. And this round is done as the counter defuse not quite able to get stuck, and the kills come through. 1 trade kill, but what a round. So fast out of Myth.
Yeah, I kind of got a little bit worried in the middle of the round there, because it was just the Blitz and a second player on site, and they just weren't in a position, or there wasn't enough cover to have the confidence into putting off the defuse. And yeah, then we additionally saw the Warden getting killed there on the first cover player there, and I was like, okay, round's falling apart, it's gone. But they were able to get some kills. The rest of the players were able to push behind the Blitz again and made the necessary kills to get into the post-plant position, which is, especially if you're that fast, very, very important to just get a plant down, because then you can focus on a few things you have to hold. And yeah, timing was very good there to get on the vertical angle with the DMR, so it worked out in the end. And yeah, I really like that kind of seeing the gap, going for it, having full confidence that you can do it.
Yeah, I really like the call there, because a lot of the players on Ryujin, especially with the Vigil, playing off-site, and they took so long to do setup. As we see it again, they're still setting up, and the Striker is already getting down here to this wall, seeing that this wall is reinforced, going to slap down that can opener, going to be recognized by the Goyo, so there is a bit of stall potential, but only 1 C4 being on the board here for Ryujin definitely leaves it on the table for another kind of fast rush in the minds of Ryujin. But as we can see, Myth going for quite the opposite. They have a setup to clear out the roam and get open the flooring and take this one a lot slower. As I say that, Eli goes down as YMK with a beautiful kill there on the roam.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where the Deimos died there, but as we earlier saw, they tried to use Eli as a secondary pressure point, but Dynamite, he doesn't need a second pressure point, he just needs his utility, being able to open up a wall and then shoot people, and Cyan straight up next to him, covering him. and they're getting this man advantage into the round. Now the defense is very much under pressure again. They have to find something. And yeah, the attack has enough time. But yeah, I really like the change up of, I wouldn't say pacing, because it was just another idea, but they also played it fast. Like, immediately opened up catwalk door, walked in, immediately opened up IT, and played the roam, and tried to look for these kills. And yeah, there was clean execution there. Apart from Eli, but we didn't see what happened there, so maybe he just got unlucky. Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to imagine, Eli probably going in the first floor or around that area, because we did see earlier that YMK was on the first floor on the CC stairs, so not 100% sure how that happened, but I would have to imagine Eli trying to get in that middle floor, that first floor, try and get some tracks down, get some pings, get some floor bangs or something like that, help with the roam clear. But in the end, Dynamite with a fantastic play is Dynamite yet again. As I speak their name, Nolf goes down, and Dynamite has been the impact player of this round and has the most kills in the lobby so far. So yeah, the buck definitely proving to be crucial in this matchup so far, as YMK goes down to Akari, as Pozo is the only one left on this Warden, finds one. Nitro gonna go out, not quite able to connect, and goes down to Dynamite, a triple kill on the round. A fantastic job on the buck, perfectly utilizing that operator.
Yeah, he definitely knows his way around this map. And how he wanted to put the round to himself and the enemies into the grave. And I'm very curious about the operator bans, because there are lots of options you could take. For the defense ban, I would say I feel an Asami ban, but they rather feel a mirror ban. I would say it's fine. I'm personally not a big fan of the mirror ban these days, but I think it's not that I like it. I think it's very subjective. Like, it's nothing wrong to ban the mirror, so it's just like my personal preference to not ban it. But I can see why it is a preference for the teams to make do it. And yeah, like I've earlier said, now they have to worry about Asami, Fenrir, and the Clash, and we just see, like, I think a good old default hiding the Clash set up there. I'm very much a fan of it. That's just trying to hide the most crucial operator in the lineup, because Myth knows that the Asami and Fenrir is going to be played. They can only estimate the Clash being brought, so if they don't draw her out, they won't necessarily have utility to deal with her, or don't have enough.
Yeah, and we see the Finka actually being locked in here, so it's going to be extremely interesting to see exactly how that's utilized. We see a little bit of a different change in setup without the Mira, instead bringing the Clash, and they've changed up what they open up, how they open it up, and so definitely going to be a change in setup that Myth has to try and address. But this is the bomb site that Ryujin has won on the defense. This is one that they've looked the most comfortable on, and I agree with you. The Mira definitely is not as much of a necessary ban as it used to be. There's a lot of different ways to deal with it. The Ashe, the Twitch, the Hibana, things like that. And I wanted to ask you this in the first round, but things started going fairly fast. But what are your thoughts on Thermite being brought when Hibana is on the board? Because I feel like right now in this meta with Hibana tricking, with the fact that Mira is so meta, with things like the Azami as well as Castle and the Clash, how do you feel about Thermite versus Hibana?
Like, yeah, you can Hibana trick and stuff like that, but it needs time, it's risky, it cannot work because it sometimes can be tricky depending on the wall to actually pull it off. And if you know you just want to open two things and you prefer to have the ability to run through them, I very much enjoy the idea of the castle, of the Thermite. I just got surprised by the C4 there. So yeah, I kind of like the idea because it also gives you the ability to pick smokes, which we see in this lineup is kind of necessary. Oh my
what a
god.
shot. Nixon absolutely obliterating Bozo. And I mean, Karma is locked for the mute as a team kill. C4 ended up coming through for him as YMK goes down to Cyan. And it's just left up to this Azami in the clash. The Azami able to find one kill, but it's extremely laborious. And down goes both members, and Myth is on a roll here. Absolutely tearing apart Ryujin in that LMG singing out from the Finca, just completely obliterating the Azami there.
Yeah, and I think that was just a good round to see why Myth prefers to ban the mirror. Because they can just walk up, use their utility to force out players of their position, and additionally, they want to bring the Deimos. They want to play vertically, and yeah, then Azami setups positions aren't that much of a problem anymore, because you can force them out and without much work and utility.
Yeah, a different bomb site coming through here. Won the top floor bomb site in that first round, but has lost 3 since, has seen both the basement and the top floor being lost. Gonna opt in for this first floor bomb site, and definitely an interesting one. Should see maybe a Ram, maybe the Buck being swapped to, because this verticality can play a significant factor here. I do like the no cover. I think the Thermite hover is definitely good for this particular bomb site, just because you want to be able to open up that garage wall, the warehouse wall rather, as well as that platform wall. So like you said, only 2 things opened up, so gonna bring that Thermite, make sure that it gets opened up, make sure that you can run through. The Twitch being brought on as well is definitely an interesting one, when in reality the Fenrir gadgets are really the only realistic factor that you can easily get rid of.
Yeah, I would say there's a point to make that you're able to get some BPs, like we just see there in IT, which is important to get, or like maybe some not quite perfectly placed meat jammer if you're able to destroy. And if you need it, you can also just zap some glue mines. There was just some little bit not so good timing from Nixon there, which got punished for the Legion, but he was in the open, so he got punished as well. So nice trade in the end there. And now we have a 4v4, which I would say is at the moment advantageous for the attack, because they got more control over the top floor, but in addition, they don't really have control of the top floor right now. They only have control of IT, but you can argue that this could be enough to win an attack.
Yeah, and the verticality can now get opened up in that IT position. It's definitely important to try and open up. The wall bangs not quite able to connect, but they're causing chaos. They're making it difficult to actually get this flooring open, making it difficult to get this verticality in play as one of those players drops. Lucy's still up here, just being a nuisance. Fenrir going to back up as Eli able to take down one. The Nook is already in sight as Hauxi goes down. That's going to be absolutely crucial, because any possible disruption of eyesight, which isn't actually being brought here, so not going to be that much of a hindrance as Eli able to get another kill. When Lucy goes down, the case is going down, and a missed shot comes through as Cyan with the bailiff. The C4 going to come out, not quite able to connect. The Blackbeard coming in, not quite able to connect with the kill. The reload, no! YMK is all that's left and gets shut down by Dynamite because of the reload. The small amount of ammo in that SMG-11 backfires crazily as Hauxi getting roasted in the chat, as Myth is going to at least win this first half.
Yeah, and I like how they try to play it there. Like, it got a bit close in the end, but I really like the Nook in that case, being able to look for gaps and abuse them. Like, Ryujin had kind of a decent response to it. Like, they tried to pressure the Nook from 2 angles with 3 people, but it wasn't quite fast enough. And yeah, you have to be able to get the Grim who wants to plant there. And yeah, I think that was the most crucial point in the round, because if they get the Grim there, the planter, then of course they have man advantage, more space to play against the Blackbeard, and in addition, they directly stand in a crossfire to the Blackbeard, so he can push through storage and close the gap. And yeah, so just very, very small detail which decides the round.
Yeah, and I really like how Myth is attacking in this game. I mean, Myth has been very dynamic in their attacks, attacking from multiple angles, making sure that the defense is extremely uncomfortable, and pinching them from multiple sides, and making it extremely difficult to know exactly where they're coming from. So I really like how they've played this game so far.
Yeah, totally agree with it. And right now we just see, again, how Nixon breaches the key wall, as he should. And yeah, from the repel, because they expect or know that there's a Mewjammer there on the wall. So it's totally reasonable to do that. And Dynamite looking for some opening in the defense, looking to take more space. And we just see...
definitely dangerous. Manages to get it off, the wall being reinforced, which is something that they haven't managed to do in the previous 2 times that they've defended this. So definitely good adaptation to have the Azami playing in the room with the barricades, able to get that wall closed. But oh, the Mewjammer able to stop the can opener, so it is going to be extremely difficult to open up this wall. But they might be able to go underneath to they might be able to go underneath to get that open, or get a nade in over top and get that Mewjammer destroyed.
It technically isn't that difficult, but of course they have, like they have had in the past, the Deimos underneath, so they will be able to open up the wall very soon, I would expect. But yeah.
Yep, and there goes the Mewjammer, but did manage to waste a lot of time, and YMK finds a kill in the meantime onto Cyan. That's going to be that Nomad down and out as Nixon manages to find a trade, but Pozo takes down Dynamite as it's quickly into a 4v3, make that a 4v2 as they're managing to find the kills in this round. A double kill for YMK. It's all going to be left up to this Deimos on Eli. YMK on low HP, so might be able to find a kill back, but a lot to do in this round. Not enough time to do it with. 40 seconds is not quite a lot of time, and this laying down with the zombie barricade might be able to find something out, but opts to go off of that as Hauxi manages to take down Eli. And the good night in the chat as the pre-fire comes through, had some pings, had some noise or something to know exactly where that player was, and a nice shot coming through, recognizing after the trash talk coming through that was a nice shot as first half over. And how are we feeling about these teams' chances? Because Myth looking really strong, Ryujin getting that last round pretty handedly, getting some momentum back as pretty much the same bands come through here.
Yeah, I'm excited to if we see the same operator bands like we saw in the last half. As we see some more in-game banter there. Yeah, and we see from Myth the Thermite ban. So they know how strong the Thermite pick was for them, and how it could possibly be as strong for Ryujin. But they decide to leave Hibana Maverick open. So we'll see if Ryujin is able to perform with these operators. And we just see that Maverick instantly gets up.
Yeah, and Mirror being brought on board as well as the Ela is definitely going to be interesting to see how they utilize that operator. The shield probably going to go down over towards... See stairs, that shield going to go down. Going to be extremely impactful if Ryujin opt in to attack from that side. With both the Hibana, well, the Hibana's being swapped off of, but this Maverick, there are 2 C4s ready and waiting to try and deal with this Maverick if the Maverick isn't too careful, because with the trajectory being visible to the defenders, that C4 can be a lot more precise and it can be a lot more deadly to this Maverick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like as a game plan. I really like the idea to leave open the Maverick and then just try to C4 him. Depending on where he goes, it is quite easily to do. But we'll have to see if Murph is able to do that. We see Ukuri ready for it.
Yeah, and the can opener is going to go down just above where that mute jammer, actually no, the mute jammer actually has managed to stop, I believe, from underneath or from that Maverick hole. So able to get that wall open, able to get those lines of sight. So that C4 not going to come into play with the Maverick just yet. So definitely nice play there, being aware the Aurora looks like they're going to be able to cut off the rafters there, the catwalk. So going to be interesting to see exactly how they opt to attack this, as looks like it is going to be an IT wall push with the doorway being blocked off. Not going to have to deal with that as they jump in. Doorway, no! From behind is Hauxi managing to get in and taking down Cyan. Gonna melee that mirror window. The C4 gonna destroy that door, but not quite able to connect onto anybody and deal any damage, as the shotgun not quite able to connect from the Ela, as the mirror window looks like it has been popped. These bees going to come out, the pistol going to come out. Is Dynamite able to find the kill on to the Blackbeard? That's going to be the shield down, but all this pressure coming over towards IT has not materialized into exactly what Ryujin want here. There's a shotgun waiting around the corner. Electrical not quite in control of the attack here, so need to be able to get this crossfire as things start to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, they had a good entry there, but the Blackbeard didn't have any support, so the flank had quite an easy work with him there. Didn't have pretty much pressure going on from the catwalk door. And yeah, right now, the map, after rotating that to pick, I believe, yeah, on the blue, onto fish, part of the map. And now C4 doesn't land enough. And now it gets really, really tricky for the attack, even if they have managed to get in there, because there's only a few entry points, but they just get some kills, because Murph tries to swing them and tries to get an even man count.
Yeah, Nolf with a fantastic round, able to take down, I believe that was, what, 3 or 4 players. And Ryujin with a really strong start to their attacking side, keeping this momentum up from that last defensive round. And I really like the adaptation there with the Aurora, shut off any kind of potential from the rafters, from that catwalk position. They get in, they have the Blackbeard come up rafters, take down the player that's playing there. And in the end, they just had a lot of angles to hold, and they managed to win their gunfights. And I really like that round out of Ryujin. But Myth, gonna go down to this basement, gonna say, okay, fair game, you won that top floor. We're gonna change bomb sites. We're gonna change this up. We're gonna be ready for the aggression, for the cheeky pocket picks that you're going to play. We're going to bring things to try and counter this out with the Valk going to be able to get all this information, the Legion to try and counter these shields, the Mozzie to try and get rid of these drones, try and deny information, as well as get their own kind of information going.
Yeah. I'm curious if Nolf is not also able to get kills with his Maverick, but also make good work with the utility there. Because last round I was kind of worried after they took with the Maverick 1 minute to open up the wall. But they definitely knew that this time was well spent. And right now they have to pull back a little bit from the Maverick there, because Nyx is trying to impact them. Oh, TCSG doing a little bit of damage, but not really much to pressure Nolf's life there.
Yeah, and able to get that map trick off as the Ram going down so early to Dynamite. Dynamite is impenetrable right now. as Arcari able to find one as well. And this round is going from bad to worse, but no, Pozo able to take down Arcari at least, so that is going to be Legion off the board. But losing the Ram and the Blitz so early is going to hurt this attack so tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's getting very difficult to get some sort of winning position, or like to get into a position where you can play out the win condition.
Wow, what a play.
That was insane.
Yeah, Cyan going down there to a crazy Buck play. And I mean, I talked about it before the match started. Buck can be extremely powerful, and Dynamite showed it in the first half, and now Pozo in this round getting a double kill, getting that man advantage back in control to even footing, and his Buck can definitely be the game changer in this round here.
Yeah, but we also just see that the defense knows that they can't forfeit the mid floor. They need to contest it. They make sure they can play there as long as possible and deny the attack of the vertical play as long as possible. Maybe go for a backstab, and Nixon, he gets the next frag, putting himself and his team in a man advantage and releasing some sort of that pressure. Of course, Buck still there to make a lot of new pressure, but Maverick isn't the best to get with, I would say. Of course, they can open up hatches and some floor, but they won't ever be able to be enough people to put pressure on all the defenders. But there's always one defender who can be quite safe. But let's see if they really can play this off. There was kind of a kill laying there for the Buck, but not having the gun out there definitely hurt his chances. And now both attacks very low.
And Nolt getting through, getting that diffuser down, and it looks like it's going to go through. The kill not quite going through, but no, it's all going to be left up to this Buck, and ace required on the round as one down comes through. The flashbang going to come out. The Azami not quite going to be able to get finished off there. The headshot comes through, one kill, but not quite able to find another as Dynamite shuts him down, as this was a two-man round. Dynamite versus Pozo, and Dynamite comes out on top in the round. The counter defuse coming through, and Myth slow down the momentum of Ryujin and manage to take their first defensive round.
Yeah, well, I just try to boil it down to what Myth did well. And I would say they understood their win con really well in this round, because they contested the map. They got some trades, what will happen, or what will happen, and then they knew they had to stick to mid floor as long as possible, that they had to do something about the vertical play, as they did with Azami, for example, and yeah, then played post plant. I would say kind of well, like not perfectly, but I think that's very hard in that position to do. So there in the end, it worked out through the man advantage they got earlier. And yeah, let's see if they can get the match point here already.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic match so far. Pretty back and forth in terms of momentum swings. But Myth, with a 2-round lead, all they need to do is make one round happen, and they guarantee overtime at the very least. One round and they will be on match point. Opting for this first floor. We saw Myth win this on their attack, as we have the Monty being brought on board. We see the Aurora being brought on board. So looks like we might be in for something a little fast. The Twitch is trying to find things, trying to get rid of information, as Monty gonna go in extremely quickly. Usually, if you're gonna go quickly, you don't quite go in on this side, but Monty's in, the smokes are down, the fuser starting to go down. As the C4 comes out, it's not quite able to finish the kill. It's 1 HP, able to find it. The smoke canister able to get that kill, as a C4 is going to kill Eli. So team kills coming through for both of these sides. It's man advantage for Ryujin, and a fantastic start to this round, but they need to make sure that they close this out. Dynamite
Dynamite and Cyan, both of the top frags for the side of mid, need to try and find this as Fender not quite able to find the kill there. A little bit of damage coming through, but the damage that is crucial is the one on the Cyan. As Nolf able to take him down, Dynamite dealing a little bit more damage, but there's just no time. And down he goes to Neos as a beautiful rush plant comes through for the side of Ryujin. And my God, what a round and what a play for them to make.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first time that you see a set play like that for the attack, with the Monty planting there. I think big problem for Myth was that they decided to C4 first and then smoke. Because if they use a smoke canister there, maybe as soon as the first smoke pops, then you're able to deny the plant for now. Delay it, maybe get some chip damage onto the Monty. And as we saw, the C4 was so close to killing him that probably one tick of smoke damage would have been enough. So if they, I think, like I can see why they try to C4 first, like getting the kill and yeah, being then in a comfortable position. And maybe the smoke not being in position quite there yet to smoke. But I think if we assume that everyone's in position to react to the play, I would always prefer to smoke first. But as I said, you're not always instantly in position to do that. So yeah, maybe that was the problem. And also, the C4 almost killed the Monty. So of course the defense knows that the C4 is a viable play there. And yeah, it was just very millimeters, pixels away to denying the plant and basically winning the round there.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the fact that if it's not a Monty, that C4 kills them. If it's not a Monty,
Probably.
you don't have to smoke. But in that position, you just have to assume, I mean, it's going to be a shield. What's the most likely shield to be played when this kind of rush is coming through? Well, it's probably going to be the Monty. So that smoke canister just has to come out. And it was the smoke that threw the C4. So it's not like the smoke wasn't in position, but in the end, Ryujin, fantastic round. A little bit of luckiness, a little bit of fortune coming through for Ryujin to be able to secure that plant. And for this round, a little bit interesting. They're relying solely on these can openers to be able to get these walls open. They have no dedicated hard breach. They instead opted for more utility with the Buck, with the Grim, with the Capitao, and they need to make sure that they're able to get this wall open, which they have. They can get these drones in, spot out what kind of defense, as it looks like they're gonna go for a fairly similar kind of take on the top floor. And from the first floor, Neos with the Buck, able to take down that flare, able to get rid of that mirror window, and man advantage solely in favor of Ryujin here.
Yeah, defense now has to look for some kind of opening, because if they just wait, the combination from Monty, Grim, Buck, and the Capitao will slowly drain them out and slowly let the attack find kills and picks, or just space. And space sometimes is enough to win the round. But I will find picks, I would say, with this combination, because the Buck can open up everywhere except in office, and where you can't vertically on, you can definitely burn from far away. So yeah, the attack should be able to find enough frags to win this round. Monty's putting a lot of pressure onto Blue. Is he trying to make a kill? No, he's very patient and doesn't overextend there. Now he's...
Oh no, why?
No, he's standing in front of such wall, getting killed there from the back. And now there's enough more openings for the defense to react, but the kills are coming down. It's a 1v2 now for Eli as Mirror against two attackers, and it is not enough. He can't do it right now. The attack wins this clutch.
Yeah, absolute chaos ensuing, and we have made it to 5-5. Ryujin have battled back from a massive deficit. That scoreline was 4-1. They managed to make it 4-2 and then take this attack very strongly, and it is the best round in a siege map possible. Whoever wins this round is on map point.
whoever wins this round guarantees at minimum one singular point, and that point could be the difference for Ryujin, because they are up on that third place squad by one singular point. So if they manage to take this to overtime, then they guarantee that they have a 2-point advantage, which means if that next match goes to overtime, it will guarantee at minimum a tiebreaker coming through for these teams. And so Ryujin need to make sure that they try and secure this next round to try and put the pressure on Myth and try and relieve some pressure off of themselves. But if they manage to win 2 in a row, then they guarantee that they go through to that next stage, and that is going to be a massive relief for them.
Yeah, now we just see some more can openers being used on the bottom. Interesting use of the impact there. But yeah, right now the attack just opened up. The breaches then got back up and trying to clear the Romus and clear the vertical triangle so they can use the breaches and to walk in on site, not being able or not having to worry about the vertical angles.
Yeah, and Aurora being brought on board here, so they are going to be able to close off some of these doorways as long as Aurora can get some line of sight to those positions. It is going to be this first floor bomb site, which was extremely powerful for the attack last time around, managing to get that plant down extremely quickly. Going to spot out some of these Valk cams as ping we did see come through, but these Valk cams, if left up on the board, could definitely prove crucial for this Myth round if they are to end up winning it, as actually we are on the basement, rather just a lot of roam clear coming through. And basement last time around almost managing to come through. Pozo had a fantastic round, but Dynamite shut him down, not quite able to find it as Neo's able to find that first kill, and these smokes gonna come out. You'd have to imagine this jump through gonna come in as Case going to start to go down. The C4 yet again not quite able to find the kill. Snow finds one as well as Snow finds a double kill. It's into a 5v2 as Snow on low HP, so is the low health player on the side of Ryujin, but I mean, surely this is impossible of a task to do to retake this, as Noel finds the triple kill. A quadra is the only thing up on the table for Noel, so not going to be the ace on the board, but Eli has to deal with this. Monty has to deal with the shield, has to deal with all of these players. A little bit of damage coming through, one kill coming through, but the charge going to sit the Valk down on her butt, and the kill comes through, and Ryujin are our first team to find themselves on 6 on map points, and Myth have to battle back off of this.
Yeah, and now we just saw Ryujin making a very good comeback. Like, they definitely know how they want to play these attacks and how they want to create their win condition, and they're very good at setting up these plant positions, I would say, and having the right plan to not getting C4, which is very important if you plan. Now we see a retry of Myth for the basement, but yeah, let's see if they try to play it in the same way, or if they have a plan to stop that kind of Monty plant.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Cavitao being brought yet again, and that last round, it all came down to that opener. That opening kill allowed Ryujin to drop the smokes, flood the site. They didn't have to worry about anything. They could get to the position they wanted. The C4, you kind of just have to guess, where are they putting that case down? What exactly is going on? And in the end, it really just came down to a really nice opening kill.
so we've seen the same plan from Ryujin, same breaches. Seeing Nulf trying to do some work, denying some Goyo canisters, and his teammates trying to get some control on the upper floors again.
Yeah, it looks like the wall for IT gonna be opened up, so top floor control should be quickly in favor of Ryujin, as just trying to find a pick, find the space to make something happen.
And we also see that Eli in the roam trying to put pressure onto the attack also. And we see the Monty with different approach. They try to push through kitchen to the vending position and then probably into EXO. Looking for another plant position, I would say. But Nixon right now finds the opening onto Nulf, which takes away a lot of pressure the attack has.
Yeah, and the Monty taking a bit of damage though, so definitely going to be dangerous if any C4s start to come out, as there are, I believe, actually one more in pocket, and, or rather, no, I don't think there are any in pocket. I can't quite see, as it is going to be an advantage here for the side of Myth, as starting to push in, the flash going to come through, the diffuser starting to go down, as the zombie barricade going to come out, but no, it's not quite going to block off anything. The Goyo goes down. It's into a 4v4, but that case is down, and the deep counter defuse has to come through, as no Myth going down. Two more go down. Another goes down, as Ryujin managing to find all of these kills and bounce back after a man deficit. But it's all left up to this Mozzie, managing to find one kill. Still has to deal with this Monty, still has a C4 in pocket, so might be able to deal with him in that way on low HP, but 12 seconds, 10, 11 seconds, 10 seconds, there's just not enough time to deal with this. Another kill comes through, the bash comes through in the kill, and Ryujin take the map, and they have secured qualification to the next stage of the tournament. And what a comeback out of Ryujin to manage to secure this map. And my god, I was not expecting that, as Myth on their most favorite map, on the top spot of the standings, but Ryujin came to play today and they came to win.
Yeah, and we just seen some good banter in chat, I would say. And both, or like, definitely we've seen the excitement out of Ryujin to win this match, and that they're advancing also in the stages. And yeah, Myth giving up the unbeaten run there. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how the teams develop further. But yeah, as you said, amazing match right there. Both teams were very good on the attack, a little bit lacking on the defense side sometimes, but very nice attacks. And yeah, that's what is great about this level siege, because we are able to see good attacks.
Yeah, and I mean, that closes up all possibility of Project Zero, the third place squad, making it through to the next stage, as Ryujin managed to take the win in regulation, max regulation win, and it's going to be Myth and Ryujin making it through from Group A, and a fantastic job for them to manage to claw that one back and manage to take that one through. I do have some updates from the other side, as it looks like Group B, which is going to be our later match, is still up in the air. Panamone up against Sacrifice Vinicius still has every chance to make it through, but they must manage to win it in regulation, and they still need to catch up to Team VIP on the round differential. But actually, they are up against Sacrifice Vinicius, which also have 12 points and are ahead of them on the round differential. So it is entirely possible with the right round differential for them to actually make it through ahead of Sacrifice Vinicius or make it through ahead of Team VIP. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how that one turns out for the Group C matches. It's extremely close. It's extremely up in the air. The matchup that's currently happening right now between Signifitas and DK is definitely a game changer because they have 10 points, 9 points, 8 points, and 8 points. Oblivion Gaming cannot go through on 8 points. Team Valorate play up against Turks in the later match, and that one can, if Team Valorate win that in regulation, then they can go through. They will go through in terms of Signifitas and DK. If Signifitas win, or even, if they win in overtime, then they are guaranteed to go through. DK need it to be a win in regulation or a overtime match, and then depend on Valorate. And for Group D, it is Divoli already securing their way through, and Wild Multigaming up against UAIM is the later match being played, and that match will decide who goes through between Wild Multigaming and UAIM. But for now, we have a little bit of a break, and we will be back with the Panuone up against already forgot
Sacrificius Vinicius.
Sacrifice Vinicius. Yes, it's a little bit of a difficult name to remember, but we'll be back very shortly with that match coming up, and hopefully we'll have some more updates on the rest of the groups after that match. But until then, we'll be right.
As I said, here comes the Impact team piece to get rid of these Jaeger ADSs. Shock's able to pick up Leonski. Do that. Oh, okay, Sarko just jump straight down. Sure, as he's able to pick up a second. Who let this man loose?
Gotta be prepared. Nobody can push in yet. Everything utility-wise has been burned, but with no execution. Those Goyo counters keeping people away. Miro ducking behind the desk to try and meet any expectation, getting first pick, but runs away, does catch the nade, but also gets caught in the back.
Pick to make it equal. Suspendo probably wanted to do that himself since he's so eager on these kills at the minute, but with 20 seconds remaining, Wild Multigaming need to make something happen. Slayers trying to get themselves inside a site, but there will be a trade from Leonski, but Sark almost Rexon taking a little bit of damage, but never mind. I thought he would have maybe died to that nade, but as your favorite Tachanka being utilized very nicely. There's a quick swing from Skipper, who's able to put Hazard down, but Headset will be there to get it applies more phantom pressure for JT to try and repel onto that breach. So it's, I don't think Mira was ever intended in that way, but never mind. Speaking of said Mira, taking a run out to Sarko in a DBNO state, but
it's not going to have any effect in this one. Valor, 45 seconds left to go, and one less player to deal with it, as that Mira hold is just proving a little bit strong. That flank below as well. Right now, it's a tough ask to push on in. Dano finds Rawa. Dano finds a second, the third in a round. Menga, 60 seconds here. Raven hops down, does find one on towards Coles here. And it seems like Valorant, they might just want to brute force their way in towards this one. They've even dust out. Now here comes to push Copetus. No, they can't get silly. Here comes the C4. Finds a massive pick there. Takes down Murara. Beautiful throw. Commitment from Kudera. They want to try and force these players out. Try and get themselves to grass. Try and get themselves to space. But are they aware of Sagrada inside of Janitor? No, they're not. It's a 3 versus 3 now situation, as he's got no choice but to try and send the blitz in here to do his job. Dynamite's going to do exactly that.
Now, it's going to come out one way or another. Oh, the pre-fire barely missing ahead of Smute. He's swaying beside Avon. That's not in their favor. A C4. No, the nade just doesn't land. But Deimos doesn't either. He gets taken out. Malcolm getting his own pick, though, making it a
good start.
This Monty's completely isolated. It's been run really well by Team Valor as a Kopitas just trying to bait this player out. Monty just trying to get that punch. He's going to get outplayed as he looks completely the wrong direction. Monty only to turn 45 degrees, not a 180.
Being they're so disciplined, sure, Juha's going to be going down there from the vertical below. But look, here's the catch up from Ben. Belief takes down Elizao, and sure, Juha might be down, should be able to be recovered. I'm more worried about Nixon, who's currently in a world of pain in the objective, going to fall alongside Tridley, and it's all up to Dynamite now in a 1 versus
all the way down into stock, and having these crossfires, which they do have here, between your favorite or one of the sisters, and I think that's Suspendo. I mean, Suspendo's going to be gone, but it will be a TK instead, so there will be non-ironic trade, but Sarko's going to be there.
Well, you're right about that for now. Pre-fire rings out, C4 in hand, does not get the pick though. But now, Smoke close to the shotgun, Sarko getting one of his own. Taking out another one, Slayer, getting another perfect shot. Suspendo, last one standing. Sorry, anything else?
That clock is the defender's best friend right now, as they're going to have to send it into back armor.
no choice but to go now, no choice. The longer you dwell, the longer you pay. Well, you don't know about the one inside of the corner. Shorten does trade it back, but Kuba's right there to continue to trade in game and
the timer's ticking down. 50 seconds, that Rafters is open now. Nomad could possibly go up to get it, but she does run the risk of any other player, such as this Valkyrie, getting the headshot, taking her head off, and now becoming a 1v3. They know there's one player.
Moto area, as you do have to manage to clear it though in this mute yet again with the shotgun in just about the same position as, wait, maybe the drone didn't actually spot him as the mute's gonna swing and take him down.
Electric in here in a second. Twitch goes down.
Yeah, and the TCSG on the Goyo is going to shut down the DMR as the push gonna come through, gonna find the Ash as a beautiful swing there out of a player on the rappel, not quite ready. He's going in, he's missed his timing completely, and he's just gonna have to seclude himself to reinforce this. Deimos managed to get in and managed to get a kill. That run out would have been perfect to actually help them secure this round as a tease goes huge.
Just has to wait. He knows there's still 2 more operators upstairs. He knows that the flanks have to be covered. He can hold the angle as much as he wants, cause as much trouble as he can. They know there's only 2 on site though, so they can't just push and go for drops here. There's the first smoke bringing out, but a lovely shot by
Ben, and it puts Sagrana in this impossible situation. Back turns, taken down by Akari, and it's all up to Penguin in a 1 versus 4 yet again, and with time against you, everything against you. GGs have been called, and I can't help but agree. You get a commiseration prize onto Nixon, but that's all you're gonna get.
Down the staircase, not even gonna be worried about it. Plays it like it's ranked. Oh, Falcon, you're being very aggressive right now, especially with somebody who's got a longer range weapon. But the one shot down, first off, getting Sarko out. Huge play, but
being brought on the Ying means another C4 comes through. And Ryujin are absolutely devastating with this. The shotgun push gonna come through, gonna find 2 players as 3 players go down from the side of Ryujin. It's still gonna come out. Gonna find a pick. The C4 is still in pocket, so this Ash has to be extremely careful about this Mira. Just hear it rip, and it comes through, but the kills also come through for the Ash, walking past the angle, able to find the 3rd. No, it was actually to take down the Ash, meaning those Ash breaches not going to come in handy. I know 1 was already used, but not quite sure about the rest, as the Maestro cam proving absolutely diabolical here, dealing so much damage onto Rumi, and another one from a different angle, the wall being opened up. Used what the Legion is exactly shooting at there, as Mira window is up and available for the Mira, and oh my god, Joker, you have to be kidding me. That is absurd shot, the almost kind of mid.
He can shoot. Avon as well going to be falling short, and this is the Psychopatus we used to see. The timeout proving to much effect here. Long shot with the SMG-11 is hit by Hour, and that is exactly where Valor need to be right now. If they can get these rat spot 1s, but look at this. Sights down, Penguins down.
XXL Nutrition HQ. XXL Nutrition is the most popular online supplement brand in Europe. Our proteins, pre-workouts, dietary supplements, and of course our sportswear is developed with the greatest possible care. We are known for providing the highest quality products and the best service. Daily, we are working with a motivated team on new developments, promotions, and quality control to serve our customers in the best possible way. XXL Nutrition is an established name in the B2B and B2C market. Therefore, we can also be found in many gyms, supplement stores, and supermarkets. Offering the highest possible quality is the foundation of our brand. Only the best ingredients and materials are used for our products. Everyone at our company has passion for health and fitness. That's why we want to provide our customers, and of course ourselves, with the best products. We prepare all orders in our own warehouse, which has the capacity to process more than 10,000 orders daily. Thank you for supporting XXL Nutrition. We are XXL, the most popular brand in sports nutrition.
Champions with 20 still is. Owen goes down, and the defense is holding on to Rodney and Giovanni have to try and pull Clark down, but the cover won't last. All on shoulder shoot right now.
Really, the drop is going to come through regardless, though. Oh, what a shot there from Marat, and what a second one as well. Turned around, well, no choice but to rush on in. Shoes gets one, unaware of the Pro Queen 2. What the Devils do? Charges it. Got a bit of the one time, makes the hop down, trying to catch this player, misses the shots on to Rooney, finds them eventually, and that's a man advantage that's much needed for Diaboli right now. RWL goes up.
But it's not in Project X twice control. That's the last time Boston was a lot of pressure on site. Leon going down. They get back so out. It's going to be last for Mark forever. That is exactly. Here comes the corner swing. And wow! Perfect time coming in from MP. Also, the Monte is just so menacing as he walks up the stairs. The Boss G will take off Headbanner, and he's tries to pick off Monte. That's down, which is huge. That's going to be already all but one extra off the border. Holy crap! The swing! But that's not going to be the case. Steve is going to kick us off.
We cannot choose enough view that there will be no unfortunate chain link of events. And just as we speak of those stands another challenger, the floor is drawn there, the Rotero gonna be popped. And the Legion looking for some trouble, and Donkey
Staircase being swung from both sides. Just has to be prepared, pushing the blue, getting timed bit by bit.
McCain
goes down. Oh no, and Lucy gets two places as well. Now it's
Need to be in a tough spot. Look at this, they've got the players on the free, but here's the Hawkins finds the shot.
3v3, new defenders like B site, 3v2.
early C4 pick if this gets anywhere.
No, they haven't looked for. No. They don't. They're coming forward, double kills for all red. It's only going to be left up for Monty, but no. Able to pick up the first, and was that a down? Was that two players? No, it was a team kill for Marga because this team and this defuse planted the C4 in the wrong position. But they're able to find the kill. Can they find the defuser? No, they can. And Roberto gets the winning. It's over. So, it'll be interesting to see if it does prove to be valuable for either of these squads yet. As oh my. Welcome back, everybody. We have our next match up and ready. We have Sacrifice Vinicius up against Panuone. And let me remind everybody, this match is extremely important for both of these teams. Sacrifice Vinicius, if they manage to take it to overtime, they will go through with Team VIP. If Panuone win in regulation and manage to secure enough of a round differential up against Sacrifice Vinicius, then Team VIP and Panuone will go through. So there is a lot riding on this match. Let's go ahead and look at these map bans.
And Panuone, they banned Cafe, Chalet, Clubhouse, and Bank. And Sacrificius banned Nighthaven, Border, Lair, and Scheduler. So we end up on Consulate. I think the interesting part there is that Vinicius, they basically decided that, or like they let it open, Skyscraper and Consulate, both teams, and in the end, like it's two maps which are very similar on how you feel about the defender-sidedness of it, and then Bank also is there, and yeah, I'm very curious about Consulate because I think at least Sacrificius played it or at least once in this stage already, and they seem to be confident about it. But let's see if the stats from the team cards undermine that or if they go against that.
And Skyscraper being the worst map, with Clubhouse being the best map. And definitely interesting. Not going to be on either of those maps. So good thing for them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other team's team card and see how they feel about the maps. As Clubhouse going to be the worst map, and
Yes.
looks like, is that Nighthaven Labs as their best map? But yeah, neither team getting their worst map, neither team getting their best map. So going to be extremely interesting to see exactly how this one plays out. But it sounds like the players are ready, the lobby is ready. So let's go ahead and get into this map and see exactly how these teams shape up, because this one is a deciding matchup between these two teams to decide if Panu goes through or does Sacrifice Vinicius go through into the next stage. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be interesting. Let's take a look at these operator bands.
Yeah, and we see the Clash and the Grim. Very common, I would say, for Consulate. Like, of course, we all know Clash is powerful, Clash is strong on every side, on every map. Almost. And yeah, the Grim is somewhat, I would say, a Consulate-specific thing. But I wouldn't mind it being banned on other maps too. I think that's just also a little bit of flavor from Sacrificius in there. And yeah, also the Ying, totally reasonable ban. You don't have to bring a Warden. Also, all of you people don't have to worry about being blinded across the map. Just because they're somewhere in. And on the other hand, Panu banning the mute. Also very reasonable, because as we see now, they want to play the Flores and they want to be able to breach more easily and drone more easily, and they ban the mute. And I think the most crucial part really there is the Flores.
Yeah, I
that they
really
want to
like
play.
them. Yeah, I really like the mute ban because it opens up a lot of potential for a lot of different operators that are extremely strong right now. It opens up the floor for the Flores, for the Twitch, for the Deimos, for the Lion even. And so definitely going to see the impact in this first half of that mute ban, as well as the fact that it's going to take powerful operator with that shotgun, with that C4 completely off the table. Still going to be able to see this mute, but not going to be bringing that C4 on board for the mute.
Yeah, and we see the Nash players are trying to set up what seems to be an office take, yellow office take. But in general, using the Flores to deny utility isn't a bad idea in any case. Also then to deny some power positions like on the long desk. And for now, the French are just waiting for the attack to execute and to formulate some sort of aggression.
Yeah, and a really slow start to this round, but Blackbeard up top of those yellow stairs, going to have control of that at the very least. This striker going to throw in a flash, going to take control of this bathroom, the line scan as well as the nade comes through, pushing that player off the angle. Suava able to get the first blood on this Blackbeard, killed back, going to be traded as Suava able to find another kill as well, a triple on the round, making a quad kill. The Blackbeard going absolutely insane. It's all going to be left up to this Valk with nothing to do. Underneath, the C4 going to be able to connect onto Nikki, going to deny this defuser going down. Making this a little bit more doable here. Has to retake, has to go back up to the top floor. Nothing left to do on this first floor. Case going to go down. Flores going to drop that on the floor to Lava with the ace possibility. This Valk has to be able to deny as Lava not quite able to find the kill as BeLife King able to shut down Lava, shut down the Blackbeard, so not having to deal with the shield, but has to deal with this post-plant scenario, has to be able to get this counter defuse off the player on the window, on the rappel, should be able to shut this down off the defuse, and Nifsu able to take him down, and what a fast start to this map.
Yeah, very, very good start for them, especially for Hawa, as we saw, being able to pick off quite a lot of kills there. Yeah, seemed like they just already found the gap, but like the Sacrificios, they weren't quite ready for what the attack tried to do there. Like some maybe small timing issues. Communication issues could be the reason for that, because they in general didn't have any bad positions, I would say, but just like not good things happening around the office there, like with people running around getting caught by the Blackbeard, and people just being able to jump into bathroom without getting contested. And yeah, I wouldn't put too much value into that first round, because it's just the first round. Maybe if some things didn't click right away, you're able to fix that. Of course, it does hurt a little bit that the first defense of Conju that you lose, because to get back into the good side of the statistics you may be expecting, you have to win a lot of rounds in consecutive, like in a consecutive way.
And headed to this basement. The Blackbeard being brought yet again. Lava this time going to be on the Deimos. So a lot of potential here. See the F0 getting spotted out as well as Enrir, as this Legion could get all the timing, able to find the Hibana pellets and the window right in front of it. There were players right outside, and this Legion completely gets away with murder. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, we hear the X-Kairos blowing up, so they probably are able to breach it. Just had to use some more X-Kairos. So it shouldn't be that rough for them in the end. But we will see if I'm right with that one. But for now, the defense has lots of map control. They still have control of the server. They are not really bothered on site right now from vertical play, and because the ramp didn't do her job quite yet, but as I said, he is able to start it. Nifsu, just with the timing there, used now all of his gadgets, so there should be lots of floor being opened up. You also get the Kite Claw.
And the Electro... Yeah, the Electropod getting caught out there, I believe. Yes, it did actually get destroyed. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. I can't tell. But the first blood coming through for Panu, and they've started off this map extremely strong. First bloods in both of these rounds so far, as Lamb in the basement. Enrir getting shut down. Is Swing going to come through? Hibana's going to fall as the Legion able to find the kill onto Lamb. And so that's going to even this up with 45 seconds left on the clock, as the Deimos going to try and track down this zombie. The drone going to spot her out, as well as this scan. The shot's not quite going to come through here. Reloading. As the Kiba barrier going to come up, as Nikki able to find a kill onto Sheedy. That's going to be the zombie falling, as the timing might prove crucial here. Is no! The Legion ends up winning the gunfight up against Waba, as Etwe able to find the kill. I'm completely butchering that name, but I do not know French, so please excuse me on that one. As another kill going to come through, as Be-Life King able to find that one, but it's still man advantage here. It's evened up, and the diffuser is going down. It starts, so the timing not going to be able to come through. Be-Life King able to take down Nifsu. It's all left up to the Blackbeard, having to find both of these kills. Able to find one, but goes down, and there's plenty of time left to defuse this, as Be-Life King couldn't do it in the previous round, but managing to secure it in this one, and we are tied up 1-1.
Yeah, good retake there. Like, defense found a good balance of playing safe and getting a little bit of aggression in there, getting flanks in there. I believe the Legion was it, and I would say the name you butchered was Etoile, probably, maybe. But I only know a little bit of French, so maybe it's a better guess. Let's hope it is. But yeah, very good timing there in Tellers on the flank. If he doesn't get a kill there, it's 4v2 and it's over basically the round. But he gets a kill, 3v3. They're able to manage that, and also very good coordination in the 2v1 right there, like putting not both walking through the same door there, but flanking the Blackbeard basically and putting pressure onto him. He has to decide who he needs to aim for and peek, and very good decision making there to win the round.
5 seconds to insertion.
And back to the top floor. Pandy managed to take this last time around, but they didn't quite have to deal with the amount of utility that is being brought on board this time around. We see the Tachanka, we see the Ela, as well as the Goyo and Smoke continuing to be brought on board. So you're gonna have to be mindful of burning through all of this utility. Is Panu as a gunfight? It might come through as the Ela taking a decent chunk of health there, as the player on the outside was very aware of the possibility and very aware of the gunfight that might have been incoming.
Yeah, definitely. And now we see Nikki getting some info on Horva on the mid floor to see if they can enter there. They see some vertical angles, but nothing really to worry about much. They'll be able to. Oh, that's a nice angle from the Tachanka there, but let's see if he's able to hold them. When he also wants to try to walk in there, and Be-Life King, he's the first one to find Horva in this round. No 4K for him yet this time.
Yeah, Alvin getting shut down early, as Nifsu able to find a kill back onto the Ela, so that is going to even this one out. Not quite a lot of damage, but some of the utility being burned through here. One smoke canister, I believe there was also a Goyo canister getting destroyed there, as well as some of those Tachanka pellets. But Tachanka having so much utility is definitely going to be crucial if it comes down into the later stage of this round. And the Buck getting completely edged there, as the kill not quite coming through. Can just see the edge of the shoulder there, but not quite able to win the gunfight, as just trying to find the right angle, and another kill comes through to find that trade. So it is still going to be that 3 versus 3, that man equivalence here in this round. We see there quickly 2 Goyo canisters over towards this, pointing towards this admin side. So it's going to be difficult to come through this side if they do opt to rotate around towards the other side of the map. But Yellow Stairs looks like it is going to be this point of contention here between these two teams. Smoke canisters,
nice
fire pellets coming through just to try and waste time, and a really nice one to force the player outside of the breach. 20 seconds left, and there's still 14 pellets left for the Tachanka, so they need to be able to get into the site, find these kills, and the F not just walking past, not quite able to find the player. The trade's coming through, but it is going to be these defenders winning this round with the superior utility, proving to be the difference maker.
Yeah, nice positioning also there from all of the defenders, definitely knowing that each other have their backs, and yeah, especially the Fenrir gadget in the connector, in the small closet there, being clutch for a smoke to be able to get the kill onto the yellow player, and then being able to turn around and at least get some shot out of the one pushing from the window. And yeah, as you said, that was mostly utility play, like denying the attack to the point that they have to push, and then having some backup utility like the FNAT to know when the enemy is pushing.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, exactly. And Sacrifice 2 rounds in a row. Gonna go for this split bomb site as one of the most interesting bomb sites in all of Siege. The split site one, as both the other two that were preferred, the basement as well as the top floor, being locked now. And Sacrifice with a little bit of momentum. Panu maybe caught them a little bit off guard in that first round, in that opening round, but Wava
10 seconds.
3 rounds, or rather 2 rounds in a row, being
5 seconds to insertion.
killed pretty early on, not having too much impact, whereas that first round, getting that quad kill was super impactful for Panu, winning that one out. And we need to see Wava show something here in these next couple of rounds, because Panu, they can't afford to lose too many rounds, because even if they manage to secure this map in regulation, they need to make sure that they have a decent lead when they win it to be able to secure the tiebreaker with that map, with the round differential.
Yeah, I think it's depending on which team you're looking for, the benchmark. It is either 7-3 or 7-4. I think the 7-4 is if you look against Sacrifiers or Sacrifiers. So they want to deny those rounds to Sacrifiers as soon as possible. But of course they're trying. And let's see if they can do it. We just see an Oryx and a Melusi roaming around admin, trying to play the map for as long as possible. Now we see again Sheeny, who gets to deny some X-Kairos. And now we see that Deimos hunting the Melusi. He gets the first kill. And now the roamer in admin is pretty alone. Let's see if he can make a difference.
Yeah, Lamb able to find that opening kill. In a lot of these rounds, the opening kill has been in favor of Panu, but only in one round they've been able to secure it, as Nikki able to find another kill. That's going to be on to one of these key players here. Both the Oryx and the Castle going down, but this player in the top floor not quite able to find the shots as the Melusi ends up dropping. So Lamb not quite able to capitalize on the drop, but the Valk able to find a kill onto the Ash. Another kill coming through. Wava finding the kill and bouncing back after 2 very impactless rounds. As the Blitz going to come through, blind out the player, and the round goes in favor of the attacking side. Panu bouncing back really strong, but that is going to be the tertiary bomb site that they managed to win. So Sacrifice on this basement bomb site going to be unlocked yet again. And this is the bomb site where they looked extremely strong. Came down to a 1v1, 1v2 in the end, but it is going to be one of their favorite bomb sites to try and secure this next round.
Definitely. And I'm always kind of a fan of teams who try something unusual, like the French just did with playing the split side. You don't see that often. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if they sort of like understand. We lost top floor in the first round, and it was kind of for a long time a decent showing. Like they weren't stomped, they got some trades back, but I'm not full on confident that picking the bomb site was the right choice, especially with how proven the other bomb sites are for most of the teams. And I think that's the biggest part of my point. Like the other bomb sites are so proven to be at least decent that it is a great risk to play the split. But I also like it that they did.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they did have only 2 options there. The other 2 bomb sites, the top floor and the basement, were locked. So it's either that split site or that first floor bomb site. And I mean, when you're coming down to the tertiary bomb site, just pick your poison. Both are not particularly favored for the defense, but I did like the strat that they were going for. They had the Oryx, so they had the possibility to go up the hatches. But I mean, they did have the Oryx on the top floor, and he did go down pretty early. So Panu did a pretty good job of shutting down what Sacrifice was going for on that split bomb site, and it just kind of fell apart after that, and they ended up winning it. And, you know, tertiary bomb site, you win some, you lose some. More times than not, you do lose those tertiary bomb sites in a close matchup. But in this round, starting off pretty slowly, just trying to get this map control, they have the wall open up in the back of the Blitz, going to push through into this first floor over towards this Visa side. So it is going to put a lot of pressure onto these players playing this first floor, and the castle going to be this first point of contact. Flash from the Blitz, not quite able to connect, and the Blitz ends up going down yet again. Shields from angles that they're not aware of going down, as Sheeny able to find one onto Niasu and Etoile, able to take one onto Huava, as Nikki able to find one but does get traded out in a quick round in decisive fashion for the side of Sacrifice. And down goes Panu, a 3-2 split so far with 1 round left in this half.
Yeah, and they again pick the top floor. Yeah, of course, because it's the next in rotation. And yeah, I'm very confident now in the French team that they can put themselves up in an advantage, like in the 4-2 split position, how it should be for Consulate. And yeah, they're playing, I believe, the same setup from last time when they won it. Oh no, they don't have a Fenrir anymore, of course, because Panu was thinking when they banned operators and banned it out. And yeah, we'll see if the adaptation still works for the defense then.
Yeah, bringing along the Frost in place of the Fenrir that they had brought the last 2 times around when they defended this top floor. They still have the key pieces in place. They still have that Tachanka. They still have the Ella, the Goyo, as well as the Smoke. So a lot of utility to try and stall out this attack. 2 minutes 50 on the clock, and Panu have to be quick. They have to manage to draw out this utility very quickly, or they need to manage to find the gaps and find the kills. The Flores going to be brought out here, might get shut down. I don't hear the Flores drone actually going off, so looks like it was shot out from that skylight.
Yeah, now we hear the first Goyo Kinesis getting popped, making some room on the CO window. You just see where the frost mat is placed, for example, on this bathroom window, and which could have denied the jump in from the first round. Let's see if they are aware. At first, Nisu, he is aware that Etoile was playing yellow and take him out. Now there's some good damage onto Rustin, onto the Montagne, and forces him back, so he doesn't end up alone in the middle of the site.
Yeah, first blood yet again coming through for the side of Panuone, as that Flores drone, I guess, could have triggered it to get rid of that barbed wire. I wanted to get a little bit more information, get a little deeper into the building before triggering it, but it does end up getting shot down. No, Lamb! One shot onto Sheeny, and that's going to be the Goyo going down. Smoke canister is going to come out as the smoke goes down, is Wava able to take him down? Be Like King able to find the trade onto Wava, but this still is in man advantage for the side of Panu. This long angle for the Tachanka not quite paying off, taking quite a bit of damage here as Rostin on these yellow stairs, as Be Like King able to get shut down by Lamb. It's all going to be up to Neos as the Tachanka has to be able to deal with it all. The fire pellets going to come through, trying to deal with that Monty, but Ace gonna go down. Nifsu shuts down the Tachanka, and a beautiful round out of Panu to keep themselves in this map in contention of going through to the next stage, swapping to the defense, and even split is
Yeah,
out.
and keep in mind, if they win 7-3, they definitely advance, because they should win the tiebreakers against 2 teams. And if Sacrificius gets 2 more rounds, they should be set. Even if they lose, they should win the tiebreaker against the Finns. So it is getting intense here. And yeah, we see the same side, starting side, for the defense now. And we look at similar-ish operator bands, but not quite the same.
Defused by attackers.
We see this time a Blackbeard, which is unsurprising that after the performance Harbour had, that they highly value the Blackbeard. And on the other hand, the French ban out the Valkyrie, which is also very reasonable, because you don't want to have to look around for Velcams all the time. For a map where you can basically, almost in every room, you can be vertically C4. So yeah, definitely
10 seconds remaining.
agreeing with those bans, nothing to say against them.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, like you mentioned, do or die for Panu. They need to make sure that Sacrifice get no more than 4 rounds in this map. Otherwise, Sacrifice will be ahead of them on the round differential. I believe, if my math is correct, that as long as Panu win by 3 rounds, if my math is correct, then they will manage to go through. As the spawn peak, not quite able to connect for either players. Be Like King very aware of this possibility. Is this wall going to get reinforced after hearing the Deimos drop? The drone going to come up, just make sure no funny business coming through on this top floor bomb site.
Now that drone, that copy is free, but break wasn't free. Lamb getting a 12 there and making a good entry for the defense there, putting themselves in a good man advantage.
Yeah, and this Ella just being an absolute nuisance to the Blitz, just stunning every single corner that he passes through, as the ADSs are spotted. So Flores is going to be able to ping those out, but the Flores drone was shot out, so not quite able to deal with this shield just yet, as looks like some Goyo canisters getting popped through here. Nade gonna come through, might be able to get some utility as some of those ADSs were burned. The Tachanka canisters going to rain havoc as 1:25 on the clock, so still a decent amount of time left, but a lot of time being wasted by the defense here.
Yeah, which is their job. Yes, that sometimes happens. But now we see that the shield in Split is still being played, or is still being up, but no one's playing behind it, so that's fine for the attack so far. They haven't cleared the vending position yet, but they do now with the Blitz, but they get a trade there, and he's just insane for doing that, or being able to do that. Oh, the small angle for Sheeny. It would be so important to get a frag here. They still have the disadvantage, and still 2 Tachanka Molotov and 2 smoke canisters for the enemies. Now there are the crossfires. Hava from the bomb chassis killing the Blitz. Now the attack really is falling apart. Only 2 of them left against 4 defenders.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire here. 24 seconds on the clock as Shaney and BeLife King have to manage to get something out of this. And this Goyo Cannon is going to completely deny this doorway for the rest of this round. So they aren't going to have that as an option. As the swing going to come through for Nifsu. Nifsu finds both of the kills. And Panu find the first round, a very necessary round on their defense to try and give them the best chance of going through to the next stage as a wonderful use of utility, a wonderful show of exactly how to defend that top floor bomb site. They delayed so much.
Yeah, it was just like a good presentation of how, in general, you could play the bomb site and how they specifically wanted to play the bomb site there. Of course, the operator picks a screen that Wincon of time denial, and area denial in the end, basically. But yeah, they were able to pull it off, even though they lost some people too early here and there. So yeah, definitely good showing of them, and then puts them in a good position to really pull their playoffs, or like to pull off getting into the next stage.
Yeah, and we're going to see a little bit of an interesting one here. The Capcan being brought on board maybe just might catch somebody out on this top floor if indeed Sacrifice opt into the full map clear, get the verticality open, which it looks like they will opt into that, but I don't know if they're going to go to the second floor. It is pretty common with the Buck to go to the second floor, go in through that office area and open up really long angles down into piano. And the Solace being brought as well is definitely an interesting, definitely not as powerful as she used to be, definitely not as common as she used to be.
Yeah, and here we see the plan for the roam, catching a drone, falling back, making sure you stay alive and not necessarily hiding for death.
Yeah, and this top floor clear coming out. Sounds like the default cam got shot out, but it's going to be interesting to see if, in fact, those Afghan traps managed to find anything. It looks like, no, they did manage to spot those out, so no funny business happening on this top floor just yet, as Capcan did fall back down. Nobody on the defense on this top floor.
Yeah, we just see the defense playing the stairs and then falling further back past the Legion. He really tries to play the exhibition position. And he gets a feeling that there's someone above him. That they try to pressure him and get his position. But for now, he doesn't really have pressure. But there's a Demos right next to him, but the Demos tracks the Capcan who's on site, not this people still roaming, so I think we're in for some kills from the Legion, but not a good trigger finger. And he just shoots at Twal, but he's able to react, flash him maybe, but still, yeah, he's getting the kill through the flash. The mates didn't fall either, so they got the roam finally. But let's see if they can pull off the execute.
Yeah, not a lot of time to work with here. Yes, they do have the man advantage, but Etoile, definitely a dead man walking. Has to be sure to be careful from these vertical angles not to take a single bullet of damage, as this verticality happening so late in this round. They need to be able to drop down. They need to be able to get this case down, as a kill from Roston comes through onto JS. That is going to even up the man count. The Deimos, no, what was that? A nade? A self-nade, taking so much damage, and the kills come through. 3, 2, 1, and the round comes through in favor of Panu. Comes down to a 2v1, but the clock is ever the advantage for the defense.
Yeah, and here we just saw how you can get into time constraints, even if you try to clear the roam, because, yeah, like, how to say it? Like, the attack, they didn't lose many people. They very much had the utility for the take, I would say.
Attackers need to
Maybe,
locate and defuse
maybe
bombs.
the mirror window from Locos was a problem, utility-wise. We also saw that they tried to push it from Spiral, but the timing there was a little bit off. So I think they were very, very close to get this round. But yeah, if the Spiral's player is like a few more seconds early there, hit a nice mirror window, the Daemons can plant on the pillar, and even if the person pushing Spiral down dies there, I think they still have a decent chance to win the round. And get it, like, especially if they get the plant down. I think then they're really in the advantage.
Moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So very, very tiny margin there, which decides who wins the round, I would say.
And I just want to point out the 0 being brought along for the side of Sacrifice. Definitely something that is a little bit more rare to actually see being brought on board, but can provide a lot of utility, a lot of information, and on one of the most crucial rounds of this map, on the tertiary bomb site for the side of Panu, if they manage to take this, then they unlock that top floor bomb site yet again, which they look so strong on, and they have a really good shot at going through to the next stage. For the side of Sacrifice, this round is a must. You need to be able to take this tertiary bomb site to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. You need to be able to give yourself a little bit of space to try and take one of the powerful bomb sites from the side of Panu.
Yeah, and we just see that they use a lot of time and utility to really clear out positions, to make sure that they don't get surprised by anyone. But yeah, as we just see again, the time is right now the biggest enemy. Like, half the round is gone, they don't even have control over vending. Like, that is just a sort of shield, but they don't really have control over the position, I would say. And the good thing is that they have, due to the zero camps, very, very good intel to all of the map. But there's coming the counter, a crash, and kills falling down left and right. And they come out on top. But there's just a trade of Nifsu. Now it's an even man count again, with the health advantage on the defensive side.
And Lava holding that angle on yellow stairs can rotate down if necessary, can rotate up if necessary. So there's a lot of wiggle room here for this defense to hold on to this control. Nikki definitely in a tough position here. No, this zero cam not quite going where he wanted it, has none left in pocket as a down onto the Grim comes through. And this is do or die situation here for Sacrifice. They need to be able to pick this player up, find the map control, find the kills, find the gunfights necessary to be able to secure this round. 25 seconds left on the clock, and they have so much left to do in this round. The verticality not quite able to connect, not even going to do any damage whatsoever. Or actually, rather, that was the Grim that was above, so a little bit of damage coming through. And as Wava able to take down one, but Jaya gets the trade. Wava finds another double kill in the round. 7 seconds left on the clock, all left up to the 1 HP of Naox. Not going to be able to make this happen as the clock just runs out. And Panu doing absolutely incredible here. Find themselves on map point, on qualification point. If they manage to win one of the next 2 rounds, they will qualify to the next stage.
Yeah, they will have right now, if they win the next round and win the match 7-3, they get a round differential of additionally +4, and that will put them on top of Team VIP and on top of Sacrifice, Vinicius. If they lose one round and they finish the map 7-4, they get put like they get +3, which isn't enough to put them above Team VIP, but still enough to put them above the French, their enemies right now, because they get minus these round differential, of course. So it evens itself out to +6 on Panone's side and +5 on the side of the French. So this round here really is important, not only for the Finnish players, but also for the French. Of course, oh no, if the French now lose, they also have the worst round differential as Team VIP. They would drop down to third and not qualify.
Yep, Team VIP is pretty much guaranteed to go through, but Sacrifice fighting for their lives in this tournament need to make sure that they hang on here. They need to win 2 more rounds to guarantee the round differential to be in their favor, as Etoile trying to burn out some ADS is trying to burn out some of this utility onto this top floor, and this looked extremely powerful for the side of Panu last time around. Losing this Kaid is not going to have any impact on what they want to bring into this round. The Goyo, the Ela, the Smoke, the Jaeger, and the Tashanka. All things that they brought last time around. All things that they utilized very, very effectively. Coming down in the last 2 minutes of this round, are they going to be able to replicate that last time that they played this bomb site? And Rostin wants to guarantee that they make it through, finding this opening kill, and from the vertical, not quite able to find it. A lot of damage done onto that Buck. It's going to be a low HP situation coming into the later stages of this round, of this crucial game-deciding, tournament-deciding round for both of these teams.
Yeah, now we see the Slash with the shotgun trying to pressure up the yellow stairs. Now Sheeny, the Bug underneath, is being taken out, and the round is falling apart. Like, how could they even try to win this round against 5 defenders with still 3 smoke canisters left? Like, is there really a chance? Or maybe just need to kill onto Spiral, but he doesn't get it. No. Oh no, the trade is there.
No!
He's still just injured. Maybe if they can get him, maybe then there's enough time. But it's gonna be difficult. They need the third player to save them, or they might getting pushed while picking up the player. But the third player isn't there. He in fact gets taken out, and now it's only a 2 versus 4 on this bomb site. I would say this is just a win for the defense now. Oh, a frag.
Yeah, especially with so much utility left. Jaya, though, able to find the kill onto Nikki. Not going to delay or get rid of any of this utility as one smoke canister we hear pops out. That's the last one. Case is in favor of the attack. Still have to deal with all 3 of these defenders as Nipsu takes down the low HP player, and Rostin shuts him down. And the win comes through for Panu, and they move through in the tournament as Panu, an absolutely masterclass way to play Consulate, as they absolutely destroy Sacrifice Vinicius. Another reason for the French to be mad at the rest of Europe as they go down to their Finnish brethren, as a beautiful display from the side of Panu to make it through to the next stage of the tournament.
Yeah, very, very intense there. They did just what they had to do. And yeah, it was just like, especially in the defense, it was really, really a lesson for how to play Consulate.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic work out of them. And I mean, that concludes the B group. Your on round differential, it will be Team VIP moving through, Panoone moving through, and Sacrifice Vinicius just barely missed out on moving through to the next stage. And I do have an update from the other groups, GK took down Sikapatas 7-4. So GK will also be making it through. And Turks took down Team Valorant 7-2. So Sikapatas make it through in second place with Team Valorant just barely missing out on the qualification. And in Group D, Divoli, like I said earlier, make it through. In Wild Multigaming UAIM matchup, which is going on right now off stream, is going to decide whether Wild Multigaming are going through or whether UAIM are going through. Now, it all depends on a multitude of things for that game, but whoever wins in regulation makes it through. If Wild Multigaming lose in overtime, they will not make it through, and UAIM will make it through. If Wild Multigaming win in overtime, they make it through because they are behind on round differential, and if UAIM win in overtime, they will be tied on points, but UAIM will have the advantage on round differential.
Yeah. That's the poetry of tiebreakers.
Yes, these division groups extremely close between a lot of these teams. And let's go ahead and take a look at the standings because our producer has, I believe, all of them, if not just a couple of them, ready for us to take a look at. So just so everybody can see everything in the full picture form, and everything will make a little bit more sense. We can take a look at the rest of the teams that didn't make it through.
I'm not sure if you have them.
So standings aren't quite ready for every group yet, I believe, just because that final group has not finished their matches just yet. But it's okay because the standings will get posted to X, so everybody can go and check those out. But I mean, in this match, Panaone came to play. They wanted to make it through, and they performed excellently and won. I mean, what do you make of the division group so far? Because I feel like there were a lot of exciting matchups. There were a lot of exciting upsets, and a lot of teams made it through that maybe we weren't expecting, but more importantly, a lot of teams got eliminated that we weren't expecting at all.
Yeah, I think it just shows, especially like in most groups, like at least 3 or 4 teams are very close by each other. But in some point, it's very close of who proceeds in the next stage. And I think that's a good sign for the competitiveness of the groups and also for all the teams who go into the next stage. Because you can't say, oh, this team just did have a free group, for example, like that. And I think going forward, the games will more likely get closer and closer and more exciting and more intense. And I'm all here for it. And I'm very excited for the next play day. And yeah, I think the only thing left to do is to put us off the stream and watch the highlights again of what we saw today. And yeah, I will leave you with the last words. I had a great time casting with you and great time with the whole production here. And yeah, very excited to come back with you guys.
Yeah, and likewise, had a fantastic time casting with you. We had some fantastic matches. Just want to shout out our observer who did a fantastic job, Ohot, as well as our producer, as always, Rowan, doing a fantastic job. And thank you for casting with me. And to all the viewers, thank you for sticking around with us for some exciting last day matches. And everybody have a great night, great day, great morning, wherever you are in the world. But that is going to do it for us today. But we will be back very soon with the next stage of the tournament where things just keep getting more exciting. But for now, we'll be off. We'll see you next time.